I won't be able to mute my second screen long after everybody else.
Checkmate King 2. This is White Work over.
Got it.
We got you loud and clear tonight.
Roger Dodger.
Yes, but I'm still waiting because I'm going to be the last one here, and if I start talking, I'm going to get that double sound here.
I understand. It's
Reverb Nation.
Yeah, the minute I start talking, we're going to reverb all over the screen here.
yeah.
Approached edge of altitude zone.
That's always bad. I still haven't gone live on that second screen yet.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it either, Ron.
You are live.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're live, but okay, there it goes. Now I can mute. Now I don't know why
you're live.
Mute in advance here, but now we're muted.
Don't know.
And is everybody ready to go? 3, 2, 1, and welcome into DroneNation for February 5th, 2024. We call this the Super Bowl of Drones pregame show tonight here.
Yay!
The big games less than a week away now, and we got boots on the ground in Vegas tonight. Bob Dempsey's here to give us, the insiders, report on everything here. We got a big show tonight. Marcus is working live right now behind the scenes on a big project here. We're going to talk about everybody's favorite subject tonight, remote ID. Everybody loves the remote ID story.
Functionality normal, and that's what.
So excited when I hear that.
We always good to be normal. So let's get right into the agenda tonight here. And as I said, Bob's boots on the ground in Vegas tonight, site of the Super Bowl. And Bob's joining us probably from the 50-yard line tonight, right? You just we're to set with you. But we want to go right to the big story that DeMarco Moore, who's back from, he was on assignment last week or whatever, but he's back with us this week for DeMarco's Fearless Super Bowl forecast. And I'll give you the matchup here. We have the San Francisco 49ers with a record of 12-5 versus the Kansas City Chiefs with a record of 11-6. And the 49ers are giving 1.5 points, but that line is changing. As Bob knows in Vegas, that line was 2.5 points just a couple days ago. So a point has dropped just over the course of the weekend. So DeMarco, how do you see this big ball game?
Well, listen, you know what? I thought I'd do it different this week. And I thought I would ask you, Ron, what you think, what your pick is. I've been picking for a couple of years now. What's your pick?
Well, I'll give you my pick, but it won't be official pick because I always get these things wrong. I'm going to take the Niners on the 1.5 points.
Okay. Marcus?
Oh, you know me, I'm Niners all the way.
Yep. And Mr. Bob?
Well, my wife has in her purse a $100 ticket for Kansas City to win the Super Bowl that was placed 2 months ago on behalf of her cousin who lives in or grew up in Kansas City. So,
okay,
one
so
of
we
my
get
best friends is a 49er fanatic.
Oh boy.
So I'm, I want to watch the commercials.
It's okay. It's okay. You could just say, listen, I'm neutral. I'm Switzerland. Bob is Switzerland.
Well, we got people in Switzerland. Yeah.
No, my wife is a big, what do you call it? Swiftie? Oh, geez.
Yeah, Swiftie.
Yes, she loves Travis Kelce now that he's dating. What's her name? Something Swift. Yeah, but
this would be this love affair in the.
We got 3 49ers.
Yeah, the doors cracked open though. So I'm gonna whisper this. 49ers for the win.
I don't have the chat working here.
Hey, you could just tell her all. She left Kelsey. She's dating Brock Purdy now.
Oh, okay.
That rumor going. But okay, so the official pick is the
49ers.
49ers, and now Bob, let me ask you a question: will there be any wagering on this game in Vegas this week? Will there be any bets put down in Vegas?
It might hit some records here. I don't know. I mean, they're it is always we were the only place you could bet on sports up until 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
And now you can bet everywhere on sports, you know.
Legally is the key term. In the other
Yes.
states, we've been betting illegally on
Of
sports.
course, you know, my Uncle Bob, when I grew up, was he was arrested by the FBI. He was a bookie, you know, growing up in Chicago suburbs, you know.
Oh
Oh
boy.
wow.
He had a few extra telephones in his house.
So anyway, well, Bob, how close are you to the actual stadium?
About maybe 3.5, maybe 4 miles. I mean, I could probably.
So you'll be in the TFR.
Oh, I've been in the TFR. Yes.
Okay.
We've had a continuous string of TFRs in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And they're going to today there was one for something. I do believe there's drone show rehearsals going on. One is at the Resorts Hotel, and another one is over the Wynn Hotel, and then there's multiple ones over the Allegiant Stadium. But during the week here, before the event, now on Super Bowl Sunday, it goes to a 30-mile. You know, right now I think it's they're like 5-mile, you know, radiuses. But on Super Bowl Sunday, it's 30 miles. They'll probably stop traffic from the international airport here.
So you'll be grounded pretty much on Sunday then with your drone.
Oh yeah.
Unless you choose to fly into the stadium, but you have a dome there, right?
No, yeah, it's a dome.
You have a dome, so you have
dome.
to take the drone inside the stadium to do a little, flying. Yeah.
They have 2 roll-in fields that roll into that stadium, and I'm sure they're probably using the Raiders. They're repurposing the Raiders field right now.
Right.
We do hear that the Chiefs are using the Raiders facility, and then
right. Well,
49ers are using UNLV's facilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Now, what was my old man just lost my train of thought there.
What part? You know,
getting that out there. It's going to be a very pertinent question about drones and the football game on Sunday, and it's gone now. It went way that fast. It may have been the question tonight I was going to ask you, Bob.
What's that?
The one I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one that just slipped away.
You know, I mean, we're in shock by the amount of money that you know, the most crappiest hotel room on the Strip is going for $500 and $600 a night.
Wow.
Let me guess, that's an Excalibur.
No, Circus.
Oh yeah, Circus, of course.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, I want to thank you for not having that drone meetup this week, because none of us could have got a room, huh?
No. And that's one of our issues with planning this one, is that, you know, because it's November, there could be a football game, and when there's a football game in town, there's a drastic difference in prices, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I'm hoping there's a hockey game in town so we can all go together. You know, we can have a field trip to the Golden Knights game.
We can sit in the old Farts booth, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
So, wow.
Anyway, it's crazy here, but and they're closing streets and they're doing all. I mean, it is, you know, Mandalay Bay has turned into their entire convention center is a Super Bowl experience now, you know, kind of thing. Vendors of every size, you know, to take money.
What wasn't it Mandalay Bay where the guy shot through the window at the people that were at the
Yes.
That's what I thought. So Mandalay Bay, they're pretty close to the stadium, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's scary stuff. I'll bet you
They're right across the I-15.
Yeah, I'll bet you
Yeah.
there's some serious security there.
Yeah. Well, there's been serious security here for a long time since then.
Yeah, well, I would hope. Yeah.
Mhm.
Is this the first Super Bowl ever in Vegas, Bob?
We never had a stadium before. We had a small stadium, the Silver Bowl, it was called, and it was it was a nice small college stadium, but it could not have held anything like that, And this is the same builder that just finished the new Minnesota stadium. They basically just came into Las Vegas and built the same exact stadium,
Wow.
and it's called Allegiant Stadium. Allegiant is a small airline based in Las Vegas here. So,
so Allegiant is to us on the West Coast what Spirit is to you guys on the East Coast.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, there's a quick question in chat from Blonde Nord. He's saying, what's going on with Green Valley? Is there any updates since the last time you were?
We are waiting on a executive decision at Green Valley. Okay. So it will be news soon. That's all I can say. We're going to have a meeting on Wednesday night here in Las Vegas at a tavern called the Parkway Tavern here, and they have a little side room, and we're having a group of local Las Vegas people together, and we're going to talk about plans of get everybody's ideas and get the locations and things like that kind of thought out, and one of the things is sponsorship levels, and I'm fortunate that I've spoken with some larger people, and they might be interested. So,
could we maybe have it at the Tropicana, Bob?
No.
That actually makes me sad. I'm sad to see the Trop go.
Oh, I think it would be perfect, don't you, Marcus? We do 4th of July. Yeah. We blow up the Tropicana.
There you go. I
mean, we could do a whole 4th of July thing and then blow up the Tropicana,
Yeah.
I don't get the Atlantic City much, but we had a Tropicana up in Atlantic City.
Yeah, I think it was part of the same group too at one point in time.
The Trop was something. The Trop used to be one of the classiest casinos on the Strip back in the day.
Yeah,
when I was a young man, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah, when I got to Las Vegas in '74, first time I walked through the Tropicana Casino, I saw a celebrity playing blackjack. It was Joe Namath.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
ladies' man.
Yeah,
the man with the light bulb knees.
Hey, Lonzo, another question for you, Bob. He said, "What's the exact date of this thing? Do you have a date?"
Yes, yes. Okay. We nailed down a date. We're staying pretty firm on it, and we're working on it. It's November 8, 9, and 10. That's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday is Veterans Day. Is November 11th.
Okay,
and it's celebrated on Monday because it is on
the holiday weekend.
Yes.
Good, good. Well, let's get off the Super Bowl for a minute before we lose all. We kind of talked a lot about drones there, but let's get off Super Bowl for just a second and get some people that don't care about football back in the show. We have a DroneNation deal of the day tonight, folks. The DJI Goggles 2, not the V2s, but the 2s. They bring FPV sights to your drone flights at only $450 are on sale. That's the new lowest price they've ever been. They're regular $649. You can order them directly from DJI at that price point. I don't think Amazon has them that cheap. At least they did not today or whatever. So the Goggles 2 are the one that came out about the same time as the Avata. So I do not have the Goggles 2. I have the Integras.
Integras, yeah.
Yes.
And DeMarco, you have the Goggles V2, right?
V2.
Yeah. So
the Goggles 2 have variable diopters
correct.
and an external battery pack.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, it's too bad. So I think the Integra goggles, the advantage is the internal battery, right? You're not carrying around that extra battery on your hip.
Strap in the back, yeah.
Right.
However, you don't have the adjustable diopters like you do.
Yeah, but not adjustable, but you can put in the doctors that match your prescription.
You got all the inserts, and so that works for most people.
I don't need to adjust it, and nobody else ever looks through my goggles, so I just put my prescription and it works great. And Marcus, finish your thought. One more point to the Integra. No. They have the built-in GPS, so you don't have to plug your phone in.
Good call. Good call,
Ron. Of all.
Yeah, that's a good call.
For remote ID.
Yep.
You have to pair it with your phone.
Yeah. Everything but the Goggles Integra, the Goggles 2 and the V2s. If you want remote ID, you have to plug your phone in to get it.
Yeah.
And now the Goggles 2, the ones that are still they're the most expensive goggles. They're kind of like the top of the line. So that's a pretty good deal right now. Which of course, this lowest price ever bodes the fact that maybe we got new goggles coming soon, maybe with a new Avata or a new FPV drone from DJI.
I'm hoping that we get the Fly app on the Vision Pro.
The Vision Pro, from
Apple
Vision Pro.
$500.
No joke, I'm not kidding. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'd have to wait for those $34.99 Apple Pros to go on.
Let me tell you, if I could fly my drone with that thing, and if they get the Fly app working on that, man, I'm buying them.
Because you'll have your situational awareness.
That's it. Exactly right. Yeah.
Of course, DJI may bring that situational awareness to you for a lot less money and a goggle update.
It's possible.
Yes. Possibility.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyhow, if anybody's looking to grab a pair of goggles too, right now is the time to get them. DeMarco, you're pretty happy with your V2s, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've never used the new goggles though, so I have nothing to compare them to.
Compare with, yeah. I've only ever used the Integra. Well, I've had the Goggles V2s on, but the only ones I've actually done any real flying with is the Integras. Bob, do you have any of the DJI goggles yet?
I have the Integra. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
you're pretty happy with them?
3 with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really happy with it. I wasn't happy with all the setup.
Right.
It took a lot longer and more complicated setup than I thought it should be, and the pairing back and forth, going from controller back to goggles back to controller, kind of thing, is a little more confusing than I wanted.
Yeah, you're right.
You just have to do that once, Bob, or
I'll answer that for you, Bob. Only once if you always fly the same drone, but if you switch drones, you got to do it all over again.
Yeah. So not bad,
Yeah. But not as old far friendly as we would like, Bob, right?
No. Yeah. I still wish they would authorize you to use the RC controller and the goggles. I really
agree. That'd be a big deal, wouldn't it?
Yep.
I would.
That's where that Apple Vision
that would
Pro
be a
comes
blessing, in. DJI. Okay, if you're listening, that would be a blessing.
But that's where that Apple Vision Pro comes in.
Yeah. Oh, it's. I've watched all the videos. I'm probably not able to spring for $3,500 this week, but I do want to go try it out. You can
call your connection. Bob, call your connections over at Apple and see if maybe they can send a test unit over.
Yeah. No, I'd love it. That would be great.
Well, anyhow, that's the DroneNation deal of the day. Now we have a couple of firmware updates for the DJI Pocket 3. There was a firmware update out last week. The firmware is V01.03.05 .02. And if you I said that too fast, just go over to the DroneNation Facebook group. The article's posted
Yeah.
in there. And this is upgrade from V01.02.06.04.
This is
And,
the second update, right?
Right, second update. And the other update, I believe, was in December. Now, a lot of bug fixes and improvements, but
Does that cover this one too?
that had gotten updated a little while ago.
Yeah, shiny package.
The big feature for the Pocket 3 firmware update, the one feature did add, now you can cancel the recording function by holding the button down, the 7-way joystick or 5-way, however many ways it is, you hold that down until it cancels a video. And this is a feature that is very popular on the Insta360 Ace Pro, I believe is the title, that you could cancel a recording in the middle of it and not have this, recording sitting around on your.
That's a great idea. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh,
how many times have you started a recording and thought, "Oh, damn it," and wish you could instantly delete it? That's great.
Yeah, and people love that feature in the Ace Pro. There is a note to that, Marcus. The function is not available in Timelapse, Motionlapse, or Webcam modes. You cannot cancel those particular things. So
that's good.
Hey, John Coopy, you calm down.
Great comment.
Coopy.
Yes, I like that comment, Coop.
Coopy, you just calm down, mister.
November 10th, Marine Corps birthday. Yes.
Live a little, Marcus. Live a little.
Yeah.
John, yes, that's true. And we're going to do something there. Also at the that time in November is Bill Grace's 95th birthday.
That's good.
Wasn't he a recent guest on your show, Bob?
Yeah.
I thought it 94th. I thought it was 93 and he'll be 94.
He's going to be 95.
95. Oh, nice.
In 2024, November 2024, he's going to be 95.
Well, he's a charter member of the Old Farts with Drones.
Yes, he's going to fly. So far, he's our oldest one. I have never had a challenger to him.
Well, here's the deal. If you haven't watched Bob's show from last Wednesday, go watch it on the replay. I'm not kidding. Because Bill Grace was an impressive guest, and he really he just had a lot of really good things to say about drones and some good ideas. And when you look at his history with avionics and the Air Force and stuff, this is an impressive guy. And it's, I'm telling you, it's worth catching up with that video.
Thanks. He is really a very impressive person. So yeah. I'm glad his oldest son is the same age as me. We're both 73 years old.
That's what he said. He said his oldest son was 7. Yeah. Isn't that something? Yeah.
Makes you feel young, huh, Bob?
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, I want to thank Bob Casey for giving me the shout out there. Thank you, Bob.
Hey, Marcus, while you were doing a little show and tell earlier before I go into the next subject, would you get your show and tell out again?
Well, I just put it all away, but
you mean the little camera?
Oh, the camera. Oh, no. Okay, I thought you were talking about remote ID. But
Action 4 here.
I did. I couldn't resist. Well, they had that $299 sale. I had to do it.
You took advantage of the DroneNation deal of the day.
And then they
that was it last week. Yeah.
The battery. I got an extra battery too, and it was a good deal altogether. So yeah, it worked out quite well. Yeah.
And they have the best battery life in the business. And I know the Action 4 has got several updates, and it got one somewhat recently that added of course 10-bit color to the regular standard color profile, but it's got an update even since then, tweaking up a few things.
Can I talk about what was important to me, Ron?
Yes.
It is number one, how heat resistant it is. There's been a lot of guys did tests with it. And as long as you were shooting in 30 frames per second or less, it basically would never overheat. Now, these were tests indoors. Now, it could be different when you're out on a 100-degree day and there's no wind blowing or anything. However, I don't know of any other action camera that's been able to do that. That's number one. And number two, Ron knows this very well. I've always been looking for that camera that you can wirelessly attach an external mic to. And of course, I don't have the mic 2 yet, so I will end up getting the DJI mic 2. But it's just ease and setup. You just pull out the camera, set it up, you put the microphone on, boom, you're good to go.
Yes, and I have, of course, I guess I got mine this summer. I can't say I heat tested it per se, but maybe I did. But I have cold tests. I had it out in temperatures below freezing with wind chills bringing down 20s, and it ran until I stopped it.
That's one of the things they brag about with this battery, isn't it, Ron? That it's cold weather resistant.
Yeah, so far my testing, I had no issues running it in below freezing temperatures.
I've actually had the original Osmo Action, and I sold it to a very good friend of mine, and he is still using it and still loving it.
I heard that someplace. Yeah. So, okay. Another thing on Firmware Nation here, the DJI Mic 2s got a firmware update.
Look at that.
It was a bunch of bug fixes and things like that. Like it improved like the gain from the mic from the transmitter. I think it was a little low before they upped it a little bit, but a lot of it is just real bug. It didn't really bring any new features per se. And then part of the update to some of the other devices, you have to go to DJI's website and download like the file to your computer and then plug the mics and transmitters in and do it that way. So it's a little bit trickier than say like the Pocket 3, which you just use the Fly app. I mean, not the Fly app, but what's the app for the non-drones?
Oh, the Mimo app.
Mimo. You just use the Mimo app, but this is a little bit tougher on this. You got to get the old computer out to upgrade the mic. So
dragging the file. It seems like a really crude way of doing an update.
We're going back to like the 90s and updates.
It is kind of a throwback, isn't it?
Isn't it? I've done updates like that on stuff a long time ago where you drug it into the directory and
we're taking computing back years. But actually, if you watch somebody's video with the Windows and you watch somebody's video doing the Mac, the Windows is even tougher than the Mac.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of show and tell here. This is a mystery box that's on its way to Captain Ray in Florida.
Oh, like a care packet.
Yeah. So
next stop, South Florida.
Next stop,
Florida
South Florida.
booty.
So there's some good stuff in there.
The swagolas.
Okay, I meant to bring a graphic up. I don't have it here, but the AirAware app is a new app, and it's kind of for recreational drone pilots, and in connection with Pilot Institute. Greg's promoted it, and it's much like the old Before You Fly app that a lot of it use, and to tell you airspace and a lot of things like that. Now, right now, I don't believe you can request Lance or Like approval in this new app, the AirAware. I think you have to get like a Loft's next level up, kind of the Part 107 app to do that. So, but this is kind of taking the place of AirAware. I mean, Before You Fly, the AirAware app. But Before You Fly has kind of made a comeback here. A Loft has kind of dropped support, but now I think somebody else has taken it over. So these apps are kind of always very confusing, and and they kind of change a lot. Marcus, do you have any more insight into?
Well, all I want to say is, I'm up with all that, and I added the AirAware. I've got it on my phone here, but I never stopped using Before You Fly. And it seems to work fine. Now, I have not been in a position that I needed to do a Lance approval for, several months now. Right. But I've always just used Before You Fly for Lance approval too. You just click on it and boom, boom, boom. In a few seconds, you're good to go. And it remembers all your data. So like it automatically remembers my Part 107 license number and stuff. So once you've done it once, it's really quick, super quick.
Yeah, so the whole Before You Fly thing is a little bit confusing to me, but like you said, it still seems to work, and the AirAware seems to work real nice too. And the one thing I've noticed in the new Fly app update, have you guys all updated the Fly app on your devices? Like Marcus, I used Marcus's tip from last week to use that crosshairs to get me out of Beijing and into New Jersey. And that's all good. But once I go in to access any information about any TFRs, I get nothing or whatever. It gives me no information.
Yeah, no, you got to click on it. I went through that too, Ron, and I'm trying to remember just off the top of my head, but you click on it and it will give you your local information. Yeah,
Takes,
right where you're at. Well, oh no, excuse me, Ron. What you have to do is you have to put touch the map and put a pinpoint where you're at. You're gonna be flying at, and it'll give you all that.
Now gives you information.
Local flight information. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good.
It just came to me. I'm an old man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But doesn't the map always start in Beijing?
It does.
Okay.
So if you go on the right hand side of the screen, in my video, I told people to look on the left hand side. I don't know my right from my left, but it's on the right hand side. There's a little crosshair thing there. You touch that, and it will zero in on your location. And then if you touch and put a
marker,
a thumbnail or thumbtack on wherever it is you're at, it will then give you your flight information for that. Tell you what possible.
If there's any restrictions or what class
etc.
you're in, if you're in class D or C or something.
Yeah. I'm not very smart. Had I just read the little prompts on the screen, it told you how to do all that. But who reads instructions, right?
Not while I'm standing there with my drone going, and I'm not standing here reading instructions. What the hell's this stuff?
Yeah.
Well, usually we do the updates in the house or whatever, right? The flap update. And in the house, of course, I'm getting no signal because I'm in the house or whatever. So then you get outside and the prompts are gone when you actually could use it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so anyhow, Airware, if you haven't, it's free, of course. Just go out and download it, iOS or Android, and maybe you'll like it better than Before You Fly. Maybe you won't, but always good to have two different apps in case you get you don't get enough information. One, maybe the other will have the information. But like I said, like Marcus said, I don't know if you can get blank approval in either of the apps.
I haven't done it for a while. I've always done it through the Before You Fly app, though, and it's probably been 6 months since I've been in controlled airspace that I had to get Lance approval. But I've always done it with the Before You Fly app.
Marcus and I had to get approval last year in Florida when we were near the Kennedy Space Center.
We sure did, didn't we?
We were so close that we need to get we got Lank and Lance approval to fly at the Motel 6, with the swamp with the alligators right behind us.
That was a crappy little motel, wasn't it, Ron?
Oh man! And again, and the alligator swamp right behind it or whatever.
We were in Titusville, Florida, is where we were at, and it was.
If any of you guys are looking for a nice place to stay in Florida, don't stay where Marcus stayed.
It was the Days Inn, I think, a Days Inn.
But it looked like a Motel 6, and
it looked like a
Motel in the back. Huh?
Now Marcus and I, even luckily, like was one of those places that had nothing but a bunch of crappy fast food choices. But Marcus found the what was that steakhouse? The Brazilian steakhouse.
Yeah, it was Cattleman's Steakhouse or something like that. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
They
were out of French dip, Ron. They didn't have French dip.
Oh yeah, Marcus ordered the French dip the first night, and they said they had it, but then they came out they did not. But did you get the second night?
I think the second night I got one. Yeah,
the French dip. Yeah. But the food was excellent there.
When you're a fat old guy like me, you remember food.
Yeah, the atmosphere was good, and the service was good, except they were out the French dip. But otherwise, avoid that location if you can.
Did you see what Chris Hope said?
What Chris Hope said?
John Glenn stayed there once.
Yeah, he probably had a nicer room than we did.
It's really close to the Space Center, Chris. I mean, it's right there.
Yeah. We didn't get approval because we may got hit by a spaceship or whatever. But yeah. Anyhow, Marcus has a little bit of story here. Last week we had a little bit of discussion to show about there was an update for the Mini 4 Pro, and Marcus, I don't know how many other minis, but the Mini 4 Pro got an update where it had a new feature where if you flew the Mini 4 Pro with the regular battery, it did not broadcast remote ID, and if you put the plus battery in, it was supposed to broadcast remote ID, where previously before this update it broadcast remote ID no matter what battery you had it. Now I have no way to test this because I don't have an Android phone, so I can't use any of the carrying apps to see whether I was broadcasted or not broadcasted. But Marcus went out and did the research, and he's going to give you his full report on what he discovered with this.
So it is kind of interesting. The little, I use the Mini 3 standard, and the reason I did that is because that's the one Drone XL wrote the article about.
And all the minis got the same update. Is that
well?
The Mini 4, Mini 3, Mini 4, the Mini 3 got the same update.
I can't tell you that, Ron.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. In fact, the update number for, believe it or not, the version number of the firmware for the Mini 3 was the same version number that the Mini 2 SE got. Now, I'm sure it's different firmware for both drones. However, anyway, I need to test those other drones to tell you definitively. So I'm just going to talk about the Mini 3 here because I did test the Mini 3. And using the sub 250 battery, testing it, I've got a Google Pixel 6 phone, good Android phone, using the drone scanner app. Sure enough, when you're flying with that sub 250 gram battery, it was not broadcasting remote ID. And then interestingly enough, I think I discovered something because I wanted to test the heavier battery. Instead of shutting everything down, I just landed the drone, hot swapped the battery. In other words, just shut off the drone, slapped the heavier battery in, and as soon as it connected with the controller, leaving the controller on and the app on, took off again. And you know what? It still wasn't broadcasting remote ID. Didn't see anything. That was with the heavier battery. Okay. Now, so I brought that was hot swapping the battery. So I brought it back in, landed, shut everything down, turned off the app, turned off the controller, turned off the drone, and then fired it all back up. Took off again with what they call it the plus battery, and sure enough, drone scanner saw it immediately. I mean, it is that's my first experience with drone scanner. It shows exactly where the drone's at, height, all of that stuff. It shows exactly where the controller's at. Let me tell you what, if somebody's looking at that app, they're going to be able to see right where you're standing. There's no doubt about it. But the point of it is the Mini 3 with the heavier battery, it turned on and began broadcasting remote ID. So it worked. So if you've got an Android phone, it does not work on iOS, and I don't know the technical reason for that. Something about the way iOS looks at Wi-Fi or something. I don't know. I'm not an engineer, but I do know it works on Android phones. So drone scanner on an Android phone, let me tell you, you're flying a remote ID drone, there's no question they'll be able to see right where you're at and right where your drone's at.
Is that what they call your digital license plate?
It had everything on there. Now I will say this: I did not have that little Mini 3 because I had never intended to use that in a commercial way. Right, the little Mini 3, just flying it with the lighter battery. So I never registered. It's sub 250 drone. Never registered it. Never did anything. It showed right on the app, unregistered drone. So yeah. So I'm going to have to try that drone scanner on one of my other drones that I already have registered as remote ID drones and see how it looks. But
DeMarco, when you had an Android phone, did you ever try the drone scanner app?
I never tried it. No.
Okay.
No.
Have you still got your Android phone, DeMarco?
No. I
traded
traded it in. I got that $200 for it. I traded it in.
There you go. Good
boys,
man.
here. Let me say this now, Marcus. And this is hard to say. It's my first time ever saying this. I'm probably never going back.
Once you're in that Apple ecosystem, and you know, I was also, again, I was one of those guys that I didn't want to get sucked into their, you know, ecosystem. But what happened to me, I don't, this is probably not why people are watching this show, but what happened to me is they gave me an iPhone at work. And all of a sudden, just like what you're talking about, DeMarco, the big aha goes on. You go, wow, this just all works, and it works really well.
Yeah. I mean, there are some things that I miss, but what makes it easy is this. Well, this is something that we do. Sharing videos with the kids is now so easy to do. Like the videos aren't compressed anymore, and all that. Doing in the watch feature now and all that. So I'm probably never going back.
You're an ecosystem now.
I'm in. They sucked me in. No, it took until
Apple has had me sucked in
20 years
before they made phones.
Yeah,
I was going to ask Bob if you have Android, but I don't need to ask that, do I, Bob?
Yeah, well, Bob and Ron, they're real Apple.
Yeah,
people.
go way back.
I have an Android. I have a triple tech tablet, and
Okay, for your
basically
drone,
an
yeah.
Android phone. Yeah.
So you could get that. You could get the Skywatcher Apple in there for the Karens.
Yep.
Marcus, you see something in the chat you want to bring up?
Yeah, so I'm going to put it up here. I put it up on the screen. So that is a really good question.
That is a good question.
Because you can sideload apps onto the RC Pro. I wonder if that would work.
Your Android apps. Yeah.
Mike, this is your assignment.
Yes.
You need to try that out for us and let us know.
Yes.
Yeah, because I would do it, Mike, but I'm not very technical.
Mike, can you do it on my show this week?
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Do it on my show on Wednesday.
There you go. Hey, look, we have another question up here too. John also is asking, where you put your 107 certificate number on Lance approval?
Okay,
so
I'm just from memory, but when you do a Lance approval, you have to select whether you're Part 107 or whether you're recreational.
Correct.
And there's different information. For one thing, if you're recreational and you're flying a sub 250 drone, you don't even need to put your tail number in there at all. Your registration number, nothing. You just put in your address. Now, if you're Part 107, I know, John, that there was part of the form that you fill out. It asked you for your Part 107 number.
And your
sorry, I don't remember either, John, because I'm one of those people. I live in such a remote area. I do it once a year, and every once a year, I don't hardly remember anything. So it's a new experience every time.
And like Bob says, you got to put your date of issue too, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marcus, for taking care of John Olson there. So the reference about this software does what it's intended to do, Marcus, right? If you're a hobbyist, you haven't registered drone, you never intend to do any Part 107 work, whatever, you can buy we'll say the Mini 3 because it's the only one you tested, the Mini 3, and you will not broadcast remote ID now.
As long as you're using the sub 250 battery, you don't have a worry in the world. You don't need to tell anybody anything anywhere. You need to
don't buy anything but the sub 250 batteries, and you're good.
That's it. Yeah.
So there are.
But if you're
upset by this,
go ahead, Bob. We're saying it again.
There's people upset by this.
Yeah.
That if they want to do commercial work with a sub 250 drone, then they have to, that has to have remote ID. So I mean, is the only other way is to. Can you put a weight on top of it to?
No, I got an answer. I got an answer for Bob. I got an easy answer for somebody that wants to use their DJI drone. Just stick the extended battery in there, and boom, you're good to go. Right? Why not? Why wouldn't you do that?
If you don't have an extended battery,
just
buy one because it's a better battery. Anyways, you get a much more battery life. The drone actually flies a little faster.
It's
heavier, so that's an easy fix. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I heard that complaint too, Bob, and that's why I was kind of like
Yeah.
loaded for bear on that. Like, okay, so you just go buy the plus
I
battery.
just
What
thought
the heck?
maybe you put a fishing weight on top,
Yeah.
Velcro,
Oh, yeah. Well, Bob,
Or a holy stone RID module.
there you
No,
go.
no.
or no, you make a good point, Bob. A lot of these people like to put lights on their drones. Those
Does that make it over
the lights,
250?
put a light or two on. That'll probably put you over the 250 grams.
Yeah.
Sure, a cage. You put a cage on. You can.
But
put
now here's the question: though, Mark.
lights.
Is the
know.
drone switching over to broadcast from ID because of it knows the weight, or does it do that because it knows the batteries?
It knows the battery. It's the software and the battery.
Okay, so it doesn't matter how much weight you put on it with a regular battery;
Right.
it's not going to broadcast remote ID.
No,
Okay.
Okay. I was going to say, does it know by the
Yeah.
extra torque? The more the weight, the more the he has to lift. I don't know.
And listen, do I precisely know? I'm sure it's probably a database of the serial number of the battery that it looks at. It says, oh, okay, we know batteries with this serial number are the plus battery. Batteries with this serial number are the sub 250 battery. I suspect it's some kind of code like that.
Good. Now, Mark, you did work on a hack though. If you want to fly,
Just
if
don't-
you want a hot swap,
power
you
down the
can.
controller.
It worked. I don't, I only tested it once, so don't take that to the bank. But I'm just telling you, the one time I did it,
Sounds like a project for somebody to try.
yeah.
To see if that really does work.
So right now we can only confirm this on the Mini 3. You've only done this testing on the Mini 3.
Just the Mini 3. So
yeah.
I will, now that you mention it, Ron, I'll take the Mini 4 out, maybe the Mini 3 Pro. Out, and the Mini 4 Pro, and try them out too and see. But I'm sure it's going to be the same.
Yeah. But just you never know. But we can confirm the Mini 2 does not broadcast remote ID under any circumstances, unless you put
Mini
a
2
module
does not. It is not a remote ID drone.
But it is module compatible if you put a module on it.
You'd
Or
have
you
to-
may raise it over 250 if you put the module on it.
If you were going to use it for, if it weighed over 250, if you stuck a bunch of junk on it, or if you were using it for commercial use, you need to stick a module on it.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why you would. Buy a Mini 3 then. I don't know.
Yeah, if you're flying professionally, making money with a drone, just make that part of your business and get one that has it built in.
One would think.
Yeah.
One would think. Yeah.
I'm sure there's guys with the Mini 2 sitting in their closet thinking, I can make some money with that, and
They can make some money with it. They can put it up on eBay.
Yeah. Hey, Lauren just
Lauren.
He just made a comment here. So I don't know if everybody saw that or not on Facebook, but it looked like a beetle bug, and it had the big the Mavic 3 Pro 3-eyed camera on there, and he says that's the new Mini 5.
yes, and it was in the palm of his hand.
Yeah.
It
It was a tiny little
The
thing.
3D. It was in the hand, in somebody's palm of the hand there.
Hey, and I also think, whoops, sorry, that's not the one I wanted to do.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Bill Grace is reminding us that they're smart batteries, right? So, yeah, it's going to know.
There's firmware in the battery.
Yes, that's why I have to update them.
That's right.
Whenever we do an update in the drone, just in case. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no! I see some bad news here, Ron.
Captain Ray's getting his hip done.
No, look. Well, yeah, that's
but Chris, who has the Mini 1 for sale?
Well, that's the one that he opened live on DroneNation. He unboxed
So
it.
that should go for extra money then.
Yeah, do you need Ron and I to sign it?
Chris Hope was the first person in the state of Texas to receive the DJI Mini 1.
We'll sign it. We'll sign the box for you, Chris.
And that one probably
Letter
doesn't have a good ID either, Marcus.
Then he won't be able to give it away is the problem.
Yeah. Okay. One story here. The Hubson released a new Ace 2 video, and almost every other day on YouTube, Hubson officials are releasing a flight video from the Ace 2. They're really pushing this one out in the social medias. Is this the drone we've been waiting for a long time from Hubson? Is this the one that you need to go out and get?
No.
DeMarco?
No.
Bob?
I have no idea.
Hey, listen, just to be, I'm just speaking from experience. And unless Hubson has seriously increased their R&D and their quality of their product that they put out, save your money.
Yeah.
Because we are talking about a premium price of $919.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I wish Hubson, I wish they would put out a drone that was competitive with what our friends from DJI do, or even Autel, but it's just not there. And, until we see it in somebody's hands and they've proven that it's a quality product, I'm just going to tell you, I wouldn't want to be that person that spent that $1,000 and
yeah. So you would recommend waiting to see a couple full reviews from well-respected YouTubers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And London
Johnny was actually talking about trying one out.
Who was?
Well, he's going to order it from EXO. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's talking about getting one.
Because
Are they
Johnny's
selling it for the same price Hubson is, $919?
Who knows?
I mean, really, people you don't know, this isn't a mini drone. This is a full size drone. It probably is in this. It probably competes with the Air 3, and at $919, it's only about what? It's less than $200 cheaper than the Air 3. So it's gonna have to go pretty far to match up with the Air 3. Now, of course, it does have your 1-inch sensor in it. So for all the one-inch sensor fans, this drone will have it. And the videos they show on YouTube, I don't mean to put them down, but I mean I haven't seen any video quality looks anywhere close to the Air 3. And
you know what it doesn't have, Ron? It doesn't have a reputation of dependability.
It doesn't.
Right. Hey, good night. Hey, Jeff PV, good night.
Yeah.
Signing off, so I want to say good night.
Hey, but I've said this before, like go to EXO and those Facebook pages, and people love those drones. Read the comments.
It's purchase confirmation. I mean, I get this on the reviews that I do all the time, like particularly like the Holy Stone drones. And I mean, like the HS720 series of drones from Holy Stone. I mean, they're bad. No, they're not just bad. They're dangerous because they lose GPS. I don't. If you saw the last review that I did where it's doing a big toilet bowl and as it's landing and tumbles into the grass.
And all this is a close range.
This was at close range. Yeah. So, but if you look at the Holy Stone Facebook groups, and they love them. These guys talk about that drone like it's the most amazing thing ever. And I just think it's that purchase confirmation bias. They bought it. They spent $400 or whatever off of Amazon, and they don't want to admit. Occasionally you'll hear somebody say, well, mine flew fine, and then one day it just took off. Well, there you go. I don't know.
Of course, a lot of these people have never had a DJI drone or Autel drone or a nice drone. So this may be the nicest drone they've owned. Maybe they've had worse tool drones in the past.
Yeah.
So I'm not here advising anybody to get the Hubs. In fact, I'm saying I look at these videos that they post every other day, and the video doesn't look that great from me, even though they have the 1-inch sensor.
Okay, let's back up a little bit, Ron. You and I, and DeMarco too, we all three come from a background of the original Hubson Zeno. And I think we all were impressed with that little drone. And we all three felt like, hey, this is a good start. And maybe this is a company that is going to work their way up and put out a good product. And it just went downhill from there. That's all you can say.
Yeah, I mean, basically, all these years later, they're still fighting the same quality control issues and all just the
Right.
little things they can't get right that they were all those years ago
Yeah,
at a much higher price.
Yeah, that's an important point that you just made, Ron, because when it first came out, it was a very flawed product, but it was way cheaper than anything else out there at the time. And what we saw is they would come out with a firmware update that improved it a little bit and improved it a little bit more and a little bit more till finally it was a pretty decent little drone at $300. But that hasn't been the case now. The price of their drones have gone up
almost to DJI level. Yeah,
and the quality just isn't there.
What I still laugh about was their live stream of the Mini.
Oh God.
Wait. Yeah. But like, what happened during that? Yeah, what happened to them during that live stream was not an outlier.
Right, that was what things to come.
They sent me a Xeno. In fact, they sent me 2 Xeno Mini Pros to review. And I will never forget the first time I tried to fire that drone up. It kept disconnecting. I never got to fly it out of it. I was so mad. No, excuse me. That's wrong. I purchased that first. I said they sent it to me. That's wrong. Ron, you remember that?
Yeah.
I spent $700 or $650.
And we had to wait like 2 months.
Yeah.
They held our money for like 2 months.
And that piece of junk, you couldn't even hardly get it off the ground, and the video was garbage on it and so forth. In other words, they made all these promises and then didn't deliver. So
if someone has that video, please share it, because I haven't seen it since that.
They probably took it down. Yeah.
And if I remember right, I think it was like a Saturday morning that.
It was an odd time. Yeah, it was like a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I mean, even like then, it wasn't like early morning. It was like 11 a.m. or whatever it came on, or
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But with that first hub, the first hub to Xeno, of course, that was a Kickstarter thing. I mean, I don't know about you, Marcus, but I had no expectations I was going to get a finished 100% polished product. I knew going in I was getting kind of a work in progress or whatever. So I had a little bit more of a, I was more lenient with it at first rather than buying, a more expensive Hubsan drone. I wouldn't have that same sort of,
totally agree. We bought that drone on Kickstarter, and that was, I totally agree with you. Yeah, your expectations were less.
Yeah. So, because that was their first 3-axis, drone. Of course, they had the popular 501s for years. They were, a budget GPS drone, and for the price and the times, they were good drones for what they were.
Yeah.
And Hubsan made a bunch of great drones too. I mean, and then once the Xeno came, they kind of got rid of everything they were doing before and tried to compete with DJI, but they weren't very good at doing that.
Nope. If they'd have just focused on improving their product, anyway, it's all water under the bridge. Although I'm saying, hopefully they will make a competitive drone one of these days. But I'm not going to go out and buy it.
I hope this Ace 2 is the best non-DJI drone ever made or whatever, But I don't think it will be, but I hope it will be. Yeah. And on that note, I do want to say that our friends over at FEMI, I was talking to Grill Man today, and he ordered the orange FEMI, the FEMI Mini 2 V2, and he got it in 2 weeks. I'm not sure he ordered from. I asked him if he ordered from FEMI directly, but he said no. He did order one, but they lost it. So he ordered from somebody else and got it in only 2 weeks, the orange one.
Yeah.
Well, and Richard thought I should mention FEMI too. Well, we did talk about them because they were the deal of the day not that long ago. But Richard ordered the orange one too from FEMI. He got his in 2 weeks, the V2. And Richard thought he had sent me a little video. There was kind of some rumblings that there were going to be a FEMI Mini V3 coming out soon, and maybe even another FEMI X8 Pro, whatever. But that turned out to be kind of unconfirmed at this point. So we don't know that now, whatever.
Ross Langdon Australia Panoramas has that new FIMI X8 SE Pro.
Yeah.
And he says, man, it's just like Ron, you and I have talked about this a lot. The drone flies great. The flight controls are great on it and everything, but he said the camera is garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And and on a drone you're calling pro, it's a bad thing. And we say new. You remember it was last spring. They announced that drone in the spring of 2023. So I mean that drone's almost a year old, and you still see hardly any videos about it on YouTube. It doesn't seem like, I mean, only Ross and a few guys even have it. So I think Grillman was saying that that's already kind of considered a flop, and they've got units that they can't sell now. I guess, like you said, word got out about the camera and so on.
So I've got a video coming out pretty quick of comparing the Potensic Atom with the Hubsan, or excuse me, the FIMI X8 Mini version 2. You got to remember these names.
Yeah.
And honestly, it flew pretty decent. But really, even comparing the video with the Potensic Atom had better quality video than the little FIMI drone did. And you'll see it when I publish that. Again, that's another company that I'm rooting for. FIMI always prices their drones very competitively. So wouldn't it be fun to be able to get a little, if it did a decent job, if they came out with a version 3 of it or something, that'd be fun. But I don't know if I have a lot of hope. I guess from personal experience with the drones, I don't.
I mean, we had that deal today a couple weeks ago. You were able to get the FIMI Mini V2 for $249 directly from FIMI, but now normally it sells for $299. If you get like a Firmware bundle with an extra battery and maybe a case, it's like usually about $350.
Here's the bottom line: if what you're worried about, if what you're looking for is a good experience with a mini drone, and you want decent quality video and you want a decent connection and FPV feed, just go buy the DJI Mini 2 SE, and trust me, you're going to have a wonderful experience with that drone. Whereas these other ones, it's hit or miss. Now, one of the things that I noticed these cheaper drone companies is they'll cram a lot of features into their drones, tracking, waypoints, things like that. But often they don't all work. Some of those features don't work like they should. Whereas that little DJI drone, you're going to get it out of the box and everything's going to work perfectly, and you're going to have a good experience with it.
And don't get hung up. And don't get hung up. The DJI drone doesn't have 4K video, because the 2.7K video on those SEs is most times better than the 4K.
Not most times, as far as when you're comparing it to those other drones. I'm just telling you, it's better. I'm just telling you. Just look at it side by side, and you go, wow.
Yeah. So, well, we've ran through all the subjects on the menu tonight. Bob, is there anything you'd like to talk about or bring up that we didn't get covered tonight?
I just we're having horrible rain in Las Vegas, but we're it's been
rain in Las Vegas. Oh, horrible.
I know. Hard to get sympathy here, but
well, Bob, the important thing is what's the forecast for the weekend when all the high rollers come in?
The forecast is pretty good, actually. It says it's going to break by Thursday. Here we've had, but we poured all day today, but and hopefully it's going to warm up to about 60 degrees during game time. So that should be fairly good football weather. So
always good football weather in the dome, but
a large influx of cash brought into Las Vegas. Where
now, Bob, you probably should have got your wife to get you guys on one of those cruises this week. And what's the thing? Rented your house out for the week. You probably could have made a nice little stack of cash, right?
Probably.
What's a BRV? I can
grand a night,
Yeah. Huh? Yeah.
House of Sin, Bob.
Yes.
Hey, Bob. So I know your wife is a travel agent, and you're getting to do is it a Virgin America or just a Virgin?
It's called
Cruise?
Virgin Voyages.
Virgin Voyages.
Yeah, it's a different kind of cruise. I don't know if you don't mind, I'll spend a minute here, but they have no buffet. It's adult only. They have like 20 restaurants on the ship, and you don't have to pay extra for any of them, but the more popular ones you have to make reservations at. But I'm told that they usually can sneak you in anyway. But it's an interesting new kind of way of making a cruise ship, and the entertainment isn't like a big Broadway show. It's more like multiple small shows. So interesting idea. So
now, when do you leave for this? Where do you bon voyage?
We're going on the 23rd of February. We're leaving the 22nd. We're taking a red eye on I think it's Southwest. No, American.
American.
We're taking a red eye to Miami, and then we're staying for 2 nights ahead of the cruise. And I'm meeting Alex and Al and a few other guys there. And on the day that I leave, the Sunday the cruise leaves, we're going to get up at about 5 a.m. and we're going to video that cruise ship coming into port.
That's cool.
And then we don't get on till like 3:30 in the afternoon, kind of thing. So then I'm leaving my drone with Alex, or drone, whatever I'm taking, Now,
is this one of these anti-drone cruise ships?
So far.
Oh, like that.
Hey, Bob.
No, they're not all like that. No.
Well, the Alaskan ones aren't, right?
No, there's celebrity cruises. You can have a drone, and some Royal Caribbeans, you can have a drone on there. Other ones will do a check-in, check-out with you. But unfortunately, there's the majority of them that will confiscate it when you get on board.
Check before you go is the key.
Yeah.
Bob, I've got a really important question for you. You're going to have your iPhone with you though, right? You won't have a drone, but you'll have your iPhone, and you got the great camera on there.
Oh yeah.
Listen, when you're on some of those sun decks on that adults only Virgin cruise, take a couple of pictures.
Maybe might be some interesting scenes to look at,
Post them on Facebook or whatever, and we'll it'd be great.
Or you can enjoy an opportunity for you, Bob, to do all your flying with your Pocket 3. Pocket 3 and a good long stick.
Yes. Really? That's what I need.
That's too for a drone.
Oh, I've got that Osmo 5. It has an extender.
There you go.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, but we're going. We are going to Cozumel and Playa del Carmen. You can choose. They're going to dock, and it's like a little boat trip between the two, and that's a very friendly drone flying place, is what I understand, and of course.
Now, could you possibly rent a drone down there?
Boy, I wouldn't have.
You could take a blank memory card along and rent a drone.
That would be fun. Yeah, I would do that.
Ron, I know you're joking, but that an enterprising person on any of those destinations on cruise ships.
Oh yeah,
to rent drones. I'm not kidding. You get off the ship, you
have a little stand there.
Yeah, have a little stand. You rent a drone. You take their credit card. So if they crash it or lose it, they
bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You hold their credit card for the whole amount, and
Yeah.
charge them $50 an hour,
Of course,
Just stand by it,
you'll
Ron.
get there and they'll have the Hubson drones there.
Yeah.
And when you get back, people say, "Well, Bob, how come this footage doesn't look very clear?"
That is an interesting idea, Marcus. A drone rental.
Bob, that's could be a business opportunity for us.
Yeah, old farts drone rental, huh?
Well, like especially some of those Alaska ports and stuff, Ketchikan, Juneau.
At all the major cruise ports, we could franchise it, Bob.
Yeah,
we could turn it into something big or whatever.
Wait a minute.
Let's write this business plan down.
Wait a minute. I'm buying the domain name.
Where's AI at? Hey, AI, write us up a business plan.
Old fart with drone rentals.
Franchise.
There you go. Old farts with drone rentals.
We could get rich. We could be rich.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you probably get some financing here. I bet. I wouldn't be surprised. You could probably get somebody give you,
Or how about this, Bob?
$100,000 on that idea,
Or how about this, Bob? So you go to Cozumel, right? You go to the store, you buy a DJI Mini, you buy the cheapest drone you could buy, right? Fly while you're there, whatever. Then just ship it back to your house in Vegas.
Yeah, but he already has a drone at his house in Vegas.
Got a few.
Buy a cheap drone, and when you get home, then put it on eBay.
Yeah.
And maybe you've lost money in the thing. We got a good review from our buddy Ken there.
Thank you.
Hey, yes.
Thank you, Ken.
When they have leprechauns on.
Yes. and Bob, with your name, Robert Dempsey, that sounds like a very Irish name to me, right?
Oh, yes.
Are you Irish on both sides or just your father?
Both sides.
You're real Irish. Okay.
I have 3 great-great-grandparents who were born in Ireland, and I've traced
what county?
Kildare.
Okay.
And one in Cork.
County over there.
1 in Cork and 2 in Kildare.
Okay.
So and my great grandfather actually got to sleep in a pub. Over a pub, they had 2 rooms on the top of the pub. I got to sleep in the town my great grandfather was born in, and it's a little town, and they have 700 people live in this little town, and they have 8 pubs. And
but tell them the pubs are smaller in Ireland.
Irish,
the pubs are small
Irish
there.
city there.
Yeah,
and
but the pubs are very small. So they need a lot of pubs.
You probably get 100 people in each one.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So 700 people in the town. That still leaves 100 people to keep the streets clean. Yeah.
Right. A few people, and don't get a seat.
Keep the drones running.
Yeah. No, it's a very nice little town. It's called Rathangan, and I always mispronounce it, but Alan from Alan Drone Views there, he has promised to me that he will get there, and he's going to do a drone video from the city of my great grandfather there.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
Hey, Bob, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. Every time we have you on DroneNation, getting us up to speed on what's going on with, your area in the Super Bowl and all. That's a big deal, and so it's interesting to hear about it firsthand.
Yeah, before they built the stadium, deal was cut that Las Vegas was getting the Super Bowl in 2024, so
here it is.
Yeah.
And being from Chicago, you never experienced the Super Bowl there because the weather in Chicago in the wintertime isn't very what's the word, friendly to events like that, right?
I thought it was a comment on the Bears, but I wasn't what I know.
The Bears have been in Super Bowl, but the game wasn't there.
I was already in Las Vegas when they played in the Super Bowl and did the Super Bowl shuffle, that was
Bob. Lastly, what are the 2 cities that the Bears play their Super Bowls in? Come on, Bob.
Oh, that is a good one.
I bet you Bob Casey knows that.
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
No,
let me,
I don't know.
Let me go out on a limb and say, was one of them the Superdome, New Orleans?
Yes.
Yes.
Which one? I'm just guessing.
The first one.
Oh,
First-
the one they won.
I was in third grade, but
People
yes,
don't know.
yes.
The Bears defeated the Patriots in what the '85 Super Bowl, but then they lost. They lost to was it
Colts?
the Colts
Colts.
in the 2000s, early 2000s?
2000. That one I don't know. I think it's 6
Yeah.
or 8, but that one was in Miami.
Right.
Ah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
okay.
Good trivia.
Yeah. Good. No, I wouldn't. Yeah. I
Thanks for
good-
joining us, Bob.
We're going to give
Good.
Lon the best Yugo reference of the night here.
Yes.
A true old fart like Bob remembers the Yugos, don't you?
Of course. Of course. They were a very bizarre car, that's for sure. And we made fun of everybody that had one,
Yeah.
Don't worry, they didn't have them for long, right? They didn't run that long.
Yeah. Yes.
Thanks for joining us, Bob. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you for being on with us tonight. DeMarco, anything you have to want to talk about or discuss before we say our good nights?
No. Just hope everybody has a good week, and we will see everyone next week. And enjoy Super Bowl Sunday. So.
What's your recommended drinks, snacks for the Super Bowl, DeMarco?
Well, listen, I share a house with 3 little ones, though, so I'm not having anything good.
Wasabi
It's an impossible burger.
Impossible, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, hey, a quick one. They're coming out with hot dogs, and hot dogs are really good, by the way. They are
As
They
good
are.
as the Nathan's.
right there with them.
Good.
Yes.
I'll give it a shot.
Healthier. Anyway, all right, call it.
Marcus, what's your favorite Super Bowl snack or food for Super Bowl?
A Nathan's hot dog. I don't know.
Nathan's hot dog.
Yeah.
Marcus, anything you have to say before we're out of here?
I think we about covered it, Ron. Great show tonight, and again, thank you, Bob, for being our guest. Always a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Hey, before we let Bob go, are you going live this Wednesday?
Yes.
Who's your
I
guest?
sure am. And I have no idea who my guest is at the
Mystery
moment.
guest.
Yes. So, but I'm going to be live on Wednesday.
It could be one of us, right?
It
Who
could
knows?
be anybody. Marcus came on last week.
Hey, get
I heard.
TX Arch Drone Guy. He was going to do that test on the RC Pro. Yeah, get
He
him.
could be
Get
the
on.
guest.
Yeah, Michael
Mike.
Wright is my guest. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. See, he's I have the promo out tomorrow, or we'll do it. Okay.
There you go.
We're going to find out what happens here.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
All right. I want to thank everybody who joined us. Bob, our special guest, everybody in the chat tonight, everybody that, great questions, comments as usual. And, hopefully we have a little bit, this is low time of year for drones. I'm sorry. We got to talk about Pocket 3 updates, but we just don't have a whole lot going on with the drones right now. But hopefully, and Action 4 things here. So, we have to kind of concentrate some of our other devices because and this is a bad time of year to release a drone anyways. It's cold. It's raining in Vegas. It's probably snowing in Idaho or Arkansas. So it's not a good time to release a drone if you're in the U.S. anyways. But the new drones are coming, folks. Just hang in there. We will have wall-to-wall coverage when they do arrive. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm looking for that Avata Mini. I really think
Yeah, I'm with Bob.
that might be something I really would like to play with.
I got my finger in the buy button, Bob, even though it's not even a real product yet. But we got to get our friend Igor. See, if Igor is quiet, nothing's coming.
Yeah.
We got to get Igor busy again. So
Igor activated here. Yeah.
Igor and his brother Igor. They're a great team over there. So, all right. See you next week, folks. Be good, fly safe, and enjoy the Super Bowl. But please do not fly within range of the Allegiant Stadium.
30
Sunday.
miles.
Yeah, and don't fly inside the stadium.
Go to
either.
Pahrump. Jeremy, my buddy Jeremy here. We're going to Pahrump that day. That's That's
Well,
a great.
we all know what goes on in Pahrump.
Yeah, it's a great
Oh,
place
boy.
to fly drones, you know, and other things. But it's a great day, great place for drone flying.
Say no more.
They
Say
have
no
a
more.
vineyard there. They have a winery, you know. Yeah.
Oh,
They got
I
a great
love wine.
racetrack too.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love racetracks.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Good night, folks.
All right.
Keep talking as we slow.